We're going to learn to write equations now. So what is point-slope form? What is point-slope form? So point-slope form, you can write an equation of a line using the slope at any point that goes through the line by using what is called point-slope form. This form is not brand new to you guys. We graphed from it last part of the unit. It's brand new writing the equations in it. Does that make sense? Okay, so you will use this formula anytime you need to find the equation of a line and you know the slope and a point that goes through it. So point-slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where your point is opposite x1, comma, opposite y1, and your slope is m. So you use point slope when you know there's a few situations. A point and the slope, or you know 2 points. So these are the situations you will be using point-slope form. If you know a point and or a point in the slope, or you know 2 points. Those are situations when you can use point-slope form. Who can tell me when we can use slope-intercept form, just to review? When can we use slope-intercept form? Who knows when to use slope-intercept form? What is slope-intercept form, I guess, first? Josh?
Y.
So when do we use y equals mx plus b? When can we plug directly into y equals mx plus b? Lexi?
When it gives you the slope and y-intercept.
So you use this when you know the slope and y-intercept. With point slope, it can be any point along the line and a slope. Or it can be 2 points. Because what can you find if you have 2 points?
The opposite.
Be careful, somebody set it up there. The slope. So remember, in point slope, we need the slope. So if we're given 2 points, we have the point part of it, but we don't have the slope. But you can always find the slope when you're given 2 points. So that's why that's the case. So we can then convert the equation into slope-intercept form by solving for y. So I probably should have put that down here. All right, questions so far about what point-slope form is? So we're going to convert everything into slope-intercept form, but to get to slope-intercept form, we're going to have to move through point-slope form first. All right? So sometimes you're going to have to start in point-slope form to get to slope-intercept form. Did anybody take one of my calculators in the class right now? You're fine. I just want to make sure somebody earlier today didn't take it. All right. So write the equation of a line given the slope is 3 and it goes through the point negative 3, 1. So notice you're given a point and the slope. You're given a point and the slope. Is that point a y-intercept? Is that point a y-intercept? Is negative 3, 1 a y-intercept?
No.
No, x is not 0. So can you go right into slope-intercept form? No. So this is where point-slope form comes in handy. All right. We always plug things in opposite, right? So into x1, it needs to go in as a positive 3. So that will say x plus 3. Into y1, it should go in as a
Negative. Negative 1.
negative 1. And into m, we should plug in
3.
3. Good. So we have y minus 1 equals 3 times x plus 3. Be very, very careful not just to drop down your x and y values because they're kind of switched in the equation, right? They're opposite order. Make sure the y value goes with the y and the x value goes with the x. In an ordered pair, it is x comma y. And m means slope. Now we need to change this to slope-intercept form. So Justin Crater, what would you do first? Justin Powers, what would you do after that?
Wouldn't you add the one right there?
Yep. So notice we couldn't go directly into point slope form. Were there any of these points have anything to do with 10? No, right? So we had to use, I mean, we couldn't go directly into slope-intercept form. We had to use point-slope form to get there. And that's why this form is nice. So this one says, write the equation of a line whose slope is 1/2 and the line that goes through the point 2, -5. So we have the slope and our point. Is our point a y-intercept? Is our point a y-intercept? No, since it's not a y-intercept, we cannot use y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. We must use point-slope form. Okay, Emma. So we'd have y. Well, we'll go here.
Positive.
Perfect. Y plus 5 equals what, Emma? M means
Slope, so
good times x
-2.
minus 2. Very good. Great job, Emma.
Congratulations.
That was really good for only the second example we've done. I'm very impressed. RC. Love that you knew what I was going to ask you to do before I even said it. And then what do you RC?
Subtract 5.
Good.
You got the x.
Thank you. I'm pulling a you guys there. You guys like to lose x's all the time. I'm just glad you noticed it. Everything's offensive to you, Riley. I don't care. Like, anything that comes out of my mouth today has been offensive to you.
Yeah, that's because everything you said is offensive so far.
Oh, fantastic.
I can't quote you, Riley. I know I am.
All right. So what questions do you guys have there?
This is why we defend the class.
Yeah.
I love all my classes the same.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
All right.
That's
Questions there before we write equations in point-slope form from a graph? Okay, so write the equation of a line in point-slope form, and then we're going to convert it to slope-intercept form. Oh, I can go back right away. Go ahead. Tell me when you're ready. Or if you need to move up, you can move up to a location like right over here by Emma so you can see better. I figured that was it. All right. Have you gotten this copied yet, Brian, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want two different equations in point-slope form. So we need to choose a point off of this graph. Please do not put it into slope-intercept form right away. Give me a point on this line. Somebody give me a point on this line. Connor.
1, -3.
Okay, 1, -3. So we have a point
Give me my pencil.
I don't have your pen.
of 1, -3. Do you need a new pencil?
No, someone stole my pencil. I want it back.
I don't have your pencil.
If one of you took the pencil, please just give it back.
I don't have your pencil.
I'm legit not in the mood today.
You can decide which one. I don't have one.
Do you need a pencil? Sorry. Okay, I'll give you one of my hands. I don't know why it's even happening. Here you go. Okay, what is the slope of this line? What is the slope of this line? It's going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 over 3. And that's positive, right? Up is positive, right is positive. So 6 over 3 is
3.
it's
2.
it's 2. So what is that equation in point-slope form? Brian, what would that equation be in point-slope form then? If we have the point 1, -3 and the slope 2. Y plus, what's in the y spot? So we change that to a positive, so it would be y plus 3 equals the slope of m. What's the slope? 2. And then x, and then what's opposite of a 1? So it would be x minus 1. Do you see that? All right, so we put that into slope-intercept form by distributing and subtracting 3. Okay, let's do a different one just so that you guys can see that it doesn't matter if you chose a different point. So what's another point we could have chosen off this graph? What is another point you could have chosen off of this graph? Riley?
4, 3.
The point's 4, 3. Is the slope still the same? So we have a point, 4, 3, and a slope of 2. So we're going to put that into slope-intercept form, or point-slope form. You could go directly into slope-intercept form from here, but the goal of today is point-slope, so that's why we're not doing that. So Colin, actually, put this into point-slope form for me. What would that be?
All right, let's see. Okay, so it would be y minus. So okay,
You're
y
fine.
plus or no y minus 3.
Perfect.
Okay, equals 2,
Good.
and then parentheses 1. Or no, wait, minus plus 1.
So your ordered pair. You're looking at the wrong ordered pair. This ordered pair.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Sure. All right, and then let's see.
I'm leaning on it so you don't look at it anymore.
Okay, yeah, all right. Minus 4.
Yeah. So guys, this is new to you. Does it matter if it takes you a little bit of time to get used to this? No, it should take you time to think about what you're doing. So the fact that Colin fought through what he had to do, and that was fine. Perfect. You guys are learning something new. When you learn stuff new, you are not going to be perfect at it right away. So yes, you plug in y is 3, opposite of a positive 3 is a negative 3, x is 4, opposite of a positive 4 is a negative 4, our slope is 2. Kaylee, what's your question?
May I go fix my phone?
Yes. So did we get the same equation in slope-intercept form, even though we had two different point-slope form equations? Did we get the same equation?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if Riley would have chosen one point, Justin would have chosen another, and Cassie would have chosen another. Could they all have gotten to the same answer?
Sure.
As long as they did it correctly, right? That's how you know you're doing it right. So we're only going to do 1 point and 1 slope on this next one here. So let's not choose the y-intercept. So Josh, give me a point. Just not the y-intercept, please.
Okay.
Okay, the point 3, 0, and I have a slope of down 4, right 3. So my point is 3, 0, with a slope of negative 4/3. So Josh, I'm not done with you yet, so you know. I just want you to know you're still up. First of all, is this a y-intercept? I see 0. Is this a y-intercept?
No.
Which one needs to be 0?
The 3.
The x would have to be 0. This is an x-intercept, so don't get confused just because you see a 0 in there and assume it's the y-intercept. Okay, remember, x is 0 for a y-intercept. Y is 0 for an x-intercept. So some of you guys might think that's a y-intercept right away and accidentally put it into the slope-intercept form. So that's why I bring that up. But Josh, go ahead and tell me what will go in there.
Y plus 0
Good. Equals.
equals 4/3, and then parentheses x minus, or
Yeah.
x minus 3.
You guys are doing so good. I'm so proud of you guys. Okay. So, really, I thought this was not going to... Hey, why was that necessary? Turn around, face this way. So we have y equals negative 4/3 x plus 4. And that is your equation in slope-intercept form. So do we have questions about writing it from a sentence or from the graph? Are we doing okay so far? Are we doing okay so far before we get into more examples here?
I'm good at transferring.
I'm not done writing.
Huh?
I'm good at transferring it into slope.
Transferring in the what?
Like I'm good at
Transfer-
transferring into
Do you know how to get it into point slope form from the beginning?
We're getting there.
Getting there? Okay. We'll keep working on it then.
Every time I try to.
Are we doing example 5? No, I'm just going to skip everything that you want me to do.
Yay.
All right. Write the equation of the line that goes through the given point with the given slope. If the slope is 0, what kind of a line do you have?
Not one.
No, you're right. What is it? It is. It has a 0% slope, so it's a horizontal line. So, what kind of equation is a horizontal line? What kind of equation is a horizontal line? Is it y equals or x equals? That's a y equals. So let's see this in point slope form. Let's put it into point slope form. Justin Powers. Put that into point slope form for me so I can show you this. So we have x1, y1, and our m is right here. So y, perfect, equals, what's m? 0 times, yes, x, what goes in here? Minus 6. What's 0 times anything?
0.
So this would be y equals 3. A horizontal line is always a y equals equation. Okay, we're going there. So which one of the part of the ordered pair was y equal to? The x or the y?
Y.
Y. So think about that for this next one. If you have an undefined slope, what kind of line is that?
It's the vertical.
Hot dog.
Somewhat line.
Somebody just say hot dog.
I'm hearing hot dog, yes. Okay, so you have a vertical line that should be going through that point, but it's not. But you have a vertical line. What kind of equation is a vertical line then?
X equals.
It is an x equals equation. What is in the x spot of our ordered pair? Every single time x is 2. If you look at this line, 2, 1 is a point, 2, 2 is a point, 2, 3 is a point, 2, 4 is a point, 2, negative 1 is a point. The number 2 keeps coming up over and over again, right? That is what it's equal to. You cannot put an undefined slope into an equation.
Why wouldn't it be -2? Because don't you got to change the sign?
No. When you plug it into the actual equation, you would. But you can't actually plug it into the equation here. All right, guys, focus. You should be taking notes. You shouldn't be behind. Come on. You guys shouldn't be falling behind. You should have all of the notes that I have written down.
Yeah.
If you get it, can you just write the answer?
No. These are notes. They're to help you.
Mr. Steinman.
The guy across the way.
Yeah, just don't distract the class. I'm fine with that, though. All right. So, example 6 says write the equation of the line. But what do you have? What do you have going on here?
It's a table.
It's a table with how many points?
2.
Do we have a slope, though?
No.
Do we have a y-intercept?
No.
We have a y-intercept?
No.
No, neither of these actually have a y-intercept, just so we're aware. We do not have a y-intercept. What can we do if we have 2 points? What can we do if we have 2 points? Mike. They're on top of each other, and then what can you do with that? What are you finding? Yeah, you can find the slope. From -2 to 4 is 6. From 1 to -5 is
6.
Except it's not 6, it's you're subtracting. So remember, slope is a change in y over a change in x. So that's 6 over -6, which is. So the first thing you do is find the slope. And then you're going to choose 1 point and put it into point slope form. Okay, you two, stop. The individual's right in front of me.
Yeah, stop, Connor. Jackie.
Connor Company?
Connor, all you do is.
All right, which one of those points, Jayla, do you want me to use? Do you want me to use the top one or the bottom one? The top one. So we're going to use this point with our slope of -1. So we have x1 and y1 and our slope right here of -1. Put this into the equation for me, Connor. Put this into the equation for me then. Y
Equals.
No. Y.
Oh.
Y.
Y minus. No, plus 2.
Thank you. Equals. What's our m?
Equals, -1.
Times.
X.
Plus or minus? Minus 1. Okay, very, very good. Now we can get that into slope-intercept form.
Not. I am. If I wasn't,
All right, so, where are we confused? Because this is a little bit different than the last ones. Where are we confused? Justin?
Still confused from example 5. Why we didn't change the sign.
Because it's not a slope. We didn't actually put it into point slope form. So that's why we didn't have to change the sign. You only change the sign of the numbers when you plug them into point slope form. And you never change the sign of the slope. Okay? All right. So, we distribute. And we get negative 1. I got y equals negative x minus 1. Yeah, that's a 2 there, sorry. So if I subtract 2 on both sides, I get negative 1 there. Questions there? Questions there? Yeah, thanks. Focus, please. Focus. Focus. Okay, write an equation of the line that goes through the points 2, negative 4, and 3, 0. Are either of those a y-intercept?
Nope.
No, that is an x-intercept. Be careful. Do we have the slope?
Nope.
Can we find the slope?
Yeah.
You guys like to stack them, don't you?
I do not. I love it.
Or you can do this. 0 plus 4 over 3 minus 2. Either way, you get the same answer. Oh, that's the way I would prefer for you guys to do it, but it seems like more people have been stacking it this year than anything.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about messing up anything.
Do you guys see that it's the same thing either way?
Yeah, but that takes more work.
Okay, I get that. I don't care which way you do it. I'm not choosing a way for you guys. You can do what you want.
Whoa, that's
All right. All right, Tanari, which point do you want to use? 2, negative 4, or 3, 0? Okay, 2, negative 4. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Tanari, how would that go into that equation? Perfect. So we distribute and subtract 4. Shh. You guys did really good for the first half of the lesson, and you've fallen apart in the last 2 slides here. Just throwing that out there.
It's hard.
Okay, we're gonna skip the next slide and get to that slide.
Some rash. I don't know what rubbing it won't go away.
Well, if you rub it, it's gonna make it worse. So I would stop rubbing it. All right, we're gonna go to the very last slide. We're gonna go to the very last slide because the next slide is just doing the same thing we just did.
That one's kind of hard.
Guys, please focus. Please focus. All right. We are on this slide here. Who knows what f of negative 4 equals 10 and f of 4 equals negative 2 means? Who knows what that means? What does that even mean?
I know what to do here.
Justin, what does that mean?
You gotta put them into ordered pairs.
What are they as ordered pairs?
Negative 4, 10, and 4, negative 2.
Yeah, it's an input-output relationship. Do you remember how we talked about input-outputs with function notation? So we said the inside is the input and the outside is the output. So if you input negative 4, the output would be 10. If you input if you input positive 4, the output would be negative 2. That input-output relationship there. So can you do the same thing we just did on the previous slide then? Okay, so we can find the slope. What's up?
What is that?
Riley's got a football field on
what?
his
I
desk.
just realized. What?
I think it's turf.
It's turf.
I think it's turf because when you guys go to PE and you're like on the turf, you bring it into my classroom.
I know.
So you subtract 12
Got himself a football field.
and you add 8. So you subtract 12 and you add 8. So your change in y over change in x equals negative 12 over 8. What goes into 12 and 8? 4. So that's negative 3 over 2.
Do it for me, too.
Yes. What kind of question is that?
me.
It's a math class.
Okay, Miguel, which point do you want to use? You want to use negative 410? Okay, put it into point slope form for me. Not y equals.
Y minus.
Okay, 1 second. Guys, stop. Miguel, go ahead.
I minus 10 equals negative 12, or negative 3 over 2.
Good, times.
X plus 4.
Perfect. And then we distribute. So when you multiply numerators together. So negative 3 times 4 is negative 12 over 2. What's negative 12 over 2?
Negative 6.
So we have y minus 10 equals negative 3 halves x minus 6. Or you can just plug it into your calculator, which has a really pretty fraction button on there for you. And you get this here. Questions there? What are my ordered pairs, Jana, for number 9 then?
3, negative 1, 2, negative 3.
So, are either of those a y-intercept?
No.
No, so we can't go directly into slope-intercept form, can we?
No.
So to get there, we subtract 2, and we subtract 1. So change in y over change in x is negative 2 over negative 1, which is just 2. Don't even know. Jordan, which point do you want to use? Girl Jordan. Which point do you want to use?
3, negative 1.
So, what is the equation then?
Y.
What's your y value? 3 or negative 1? Which one is the y value? 3 or negative 1?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. So opposite of a negative 1 is a?
Plus 1.
So y plus 1, good, equals? Stop.
2. Minus x. Minus 3.
Perfect. There you go. Again, I don't care if it takes you a while to have to think through the problem. Think through it and get it right. Okay, so y plus 1 equals 2x minus 6. So y equals 2x minus 7. All right.